Hello beautiful ones, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to see you here today. I'm going to be sitting down for just a little sort of casual chat with you. It is November already, and so I thought it might be nice to catch you up on some things going on in my life and just, you know, general life updates. And I do want to say thank you so much to all the ladies that joined in on the discussion in this past week's video. I have just finished answering comments and it was just really nice to discuss. I always feel like I'm sitting down in a room with other ladies when I go to the comment section on a video like that. Hopefully we can continue to have conversations like that. I think it really helps us to process through, you know, things in life, and especially if we don't have a lot of women around us that we can relate to and feel like we can open up to. You know, that is one thing that keeps me continuing to upload my journey with you and share that with you. So thanks for joining me. And if you're new here, my name is Leisha, and I have been documenting my personal level up journey here on this channel since 2020. A lot has changed. It is my last month of pregnancy, you know, give or take a week or so here and there. Honestly, I have been just so exhausted. I did not have this level of fatigue and exhaustion in my third trimester with my last pregnancy that I've had with this one. And I know that, you know, this can be a typical pregnancy symptom that you get a lot of fatigue in third trimester, but I have had some anemia still, just like I did with my last pregnancy, that I think is really contributing to it. I've luckily been getting amazing sleep. I've been out of my cherry juice for the past 2 nights and I can really tell a difference. So I need to go to the store today and get some more of that. But you know, this month I am really continuing to get into a lot of nesting. I have had big nesting urges this pregnancy. I bought a steamer for the tile in our bathroom because I want to clean the floors. These urges are just so overwhelming sometimes. And let me know in the comments below if with your pregnancies you went through a really intense nesting phase, but I've definitely been on that. And I'm working on reorganizing some things here in our bedroom because we're gonna have baby over here, I think, with a changing station, but I've got to move a lot of my husband's things out of those drawers into the rest of his wardrobe here. And this will, I think, hopefully remain my sort of video recording area, so in my work area. But that's the current plan for now, and I've got to get all of that ready. I just made a hospital bag checklist again last night, and so my goal is to get that packed by this upcoming Friday because I'm going to be, actually today I'm 35 weeks along, so I am getting all of the things ready. And of course, now my midwife appointments are going, after this next one, they're gonna be going to every single week. So those have been also taking up some of my time that I use to sit down and record YouTube or create shorts and that sort of thing, because they've been occurring more frequently. And there is just, you know, a lot, I think, of my focus in this next month is going to be on preparing for baby. And I had really hoped to get further along with some of my business goals than I did in October, but I ended up taking a little bit of a different turn. So I'll tell you about that really quickly. I'm going to be recording a video on this, but essentially what I decided to delve into for a little bit more than the past 21 days is I took on this plan called Neurocycling, where instead of my regular journal routine, I have been working through some of my toxic thoughts. And there has been this root toxic thought that I've seen a lot of impact from in my life that I have wanted to change. And I knew coming up with having another baby, this was going to be probably even harder to walk through life while not having this mind management of this toxic thought and keeping everything sort of, you know, well taken care of in my mental space. And so I stumbled upon this podcast one day with Dr. Caroline Leaf, and she is the one who has created this Neurocycle app and program. And I really made it my goal to stick with it every day for 21 days. I missed a few days because when we went to the mountains, I had no cell phone service. And so I caught up on those, and I'm only a few days behind now on the whole entire plan, but it is actually a full 63-day program. So I actually started it 63 days out from my due date with the intention that, you know, I wanted to have better mind management, especially for this postpartum period, because my last pregnancy postpartum, I did have postpartum depression. It was sort of baby blues at first, but it spiraled, you know, and continued along that path of turning into postpartum depression. I actually have a video about that on my channel. And so if that's something that you are walking through right now, I feel my heart goes out to you. It is really, really tough. And if you've experienced that, it is just something that, you know, I wish more women talked about, because it is quite common. So I am trying to get ahead of the game with that. I am working also with my therapist still. We have some things in place, and that was sort of the focus of my October, was really making sure that I was getting in those neurocycling sessions. I was waking up about an hour before my daughter would wake up in the morning, and we take her to the gym and do kids club and everything. But it has been really, really interesting. We'll see how well I can get a video together for that. My goal is to get that one done sometime this month for sure. So those are just sort of my pregnancy updates that I wanted to share. You know, overall, it's been a pretty smooth pregnancy for me this time. I have had some challenges with low blood pressure and the anemia, like I mentioned, but I just got back from a workout earlier this morning, and so I'm still keeping up with lifting weights, you know, 2 to 3 times a week, and going to yoga, and then doing a mile walk at least a few times a week. So that has been, I think, really great for keeping me just overall in shape. Like, I believe that labor is, you know, something that you should train for and prepare for, both mentally and physically, and that's where I am. You know, it's been I think a really good thing for me to keep up with and use that Mamalay app in their pregnancy program. So that is where I'm going to wrap up with pregnancy updates for now. Now, the other thing that's been going on, of course, is preparations for 2 children in our family, in our life. And my husband and I were having a discussion a few days ago about how we are going to be going back to not getting a full night's rest. We have thoroughly, for a little over a year now, been enjoying our full nights of rest. Our daughter will sleep 12 hours. So we also get a little bit of time in the evenings to, of course, do things. And it has been so lovely. I've loved my schedule that we've had since earlier this year, with where my husband will kind of oversee childcare in the mornings while I do my thing, and I'll have my daughter in the afternoons. Usually I do get her nap time to work on some of the things around the house or extra YouTube stuff, or I go out and run errands, whatever it is. And we are getting ready to flip that on its head and also not have sleep at night. So we were discussing this. It's really hit us. You know, I am now really prioritizing my sleep for sure, and making sure that I'm taking naps during her nap time right now, because that is something that I want to be well rested when I go into labor. And even if it means that I'm a little behind on YouTube and I don't get to upload a short or do a post like I had planned, I'm just at that stage right now where I've realized, okay, this is really important to prioritize, and I'm grateful that I have the option to do that, you know. So thankfully, with our preparations, and something we can take into account is that my husband does get 4 months of paid parental leave. I was shocked when I heard of that for a father. I was a little uneasy about it at first, but you know, he's just in such a good standing with his current job and his career, and so I think he's going to go ahead and just do it all consecutively. We'll see. He may end up going to their company kickoff at some, I think it's like 1.5 months into his leave. We'll see how I'm doing and how the baby's doing. We're grateful that we get that this time, and that I am so much more flexible with my work right now, that it is going to be, I think, just a really good time for us to snuggle down during the winter and bond as a family and get used to parenting 2 children. So 1 toddler and a newborn. My daughter has been starting to exercise her sort of, you know, she realizes that she can pick things and that she can choose things. And so she's really started exercising that lately, and it'll be interesting to see, because we're still learning how to parent and trying to learn how to do what's best for her without causing tantrums. Like, tantrums are just something we are starting to learn about how to manage with her. She's very sweet. She's a very curious child. She really, you know, enjoys being active and going outside, and she loves creative things. She collects all of the nature things outside within her little basket that she carries. We have to figure out ways to foster her personality and her just, you know, I want her to grow up to be an independent lady, but also be respectful and have manners and that sort of thing. I feel more prepared and more experienced, even though I know every child is different. I feel like I'm looking forward to the newborn stage. I'm looking forward to having 2 little girls in our family and parenting with my husband. He's really amazing as a girl dad, and he is just so involved and so attentive, and so it is going to be just, I think, a lot of energy and a change and an adjustment period, you know. So that is what I wanted to kind of share about my thoughts around preparing for 2 children. And I do have little activities I've been collecting and different toys that I plan on bringing out, you know, when the baby is going to be needing me more and I need my daughter to be a little bit more occupied. We have some ideas of little activities that my husband can take her to go do. We do story time in the library, and maybe she might do a dance class or something like that in the afternoons that he can take her to when she's not able to go to kids club, like after her nap or something. So if you have any of your favorite tips for transitioning from 1 to 2 kids, I would love to hear them in the comment section below as well. I'm really curious what other people have done when they have a toddler and a newborn, especially if you have that age range, like 2 years apart. I would love to hear about that. So here's where I'm going to start to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining me for this little update video today and this little chat. I am going to be, hopefully, pre-recording a series that will go up while I am on maternity leave. I think I'm just going to do 2 videos a month for a little while. But the series that I want to do, I want to go back and look at my first videos where I was documenting my level up journey. I was going through the secrets of the elite woman, and I want to almost critique myself and talk about some of the things that I've learned since those moments, I guess. And I think it will be really interesting for me. I've had a couple of people, I've actually had more than a couple, I've had several of you request going back through and talking about secrets of the elite woman and what do I think about that content now, and how would I use it to approach life now, knowing what I know now, like that sort of thing. So I'm trying to come up with a series title for that right now, but I know that, you know, it'll be kind of like one of those things like watching my old videos and commentating on them type of series. And then in January, I am going to be sharing kind of all things, I think, productivity, and just talk a little bit more, I think, about time management and getting to your goals and that sort of thing. I will be looking at doing, I think, some of like my postpartum health goals will be coming from that, and just getting back into a routine with 2 children. I'll talk a lot about that too, as well. So lots of things on my mind. We'll see how it goes. I can't make any big promises about videos right now, because hopefully, you know, this is if everything goes well with my labor and delivery and the baby. We are just really praying that we have a healthy baby and that we have a smoother delivery this time with our second. So thanks again for watching. If you have not had a chance to catch up on some of these videos here on the screen, I would invite you to do so. Especially last week's video was a really great conversation. I will see you in the next one. Bye.